So, M. Night Shyamalan, Glass.
Do you know why it's called Glass?
I'm assuming it's because of Samuel L. Jackson's character, Mr. Glass?
Wow. In the movie, at the end, everything shatters. So they wipe away the pieces in order to start anew with a new piece of glass.
Yes. So, I'm going to have to do a different introduction so that I can mention that we're doing spoilers in this review.
Oh, yeah.
But that's okay, I'll just record the introduction after, there's no worries about that.
Title?
Yeah, you put it in the title. So we saw Glass last night, the third movie in M. Night Shyamalan's superhero universe.
However brief.
However brief it might be. And yeah, we're going to talk spoilers. I'm going to have a non-spoiler review up. And that'll kind of get into some basic thoughts. I'll be using a lot of metaphors in that review. But even that I'm afraid to do because this movie was kind of obvious in a way. Nothing that happened in it was really that surprising to me. And like Shyamalan's all about the twist, the twist, the twist. I view this more as a decision than a twist. And the twist, I think the twist that I saw that I really liked in the movie, and we're just going to get right into it and talk about the end of it because that's what everybody's thinking about. Kevin's dad dying on the train.
From Unbreakable.
That I view that as a twist. That's a twist, and that's a twist that I liked. The Shadow Shamrock Collective, or whatever we're calling it, that's not a twist to me. That's a decision. And it's a bad decision in my eyes. And this is what I really like about having different opinions on this movie, is that we can now get to talk about it and defend our points. You liked the ending.
Yeah, I did. I liked the fact that there was more to it. That there was something to carry on. The Shamrock. You can go somewhere with that.
See, I don't think you can. I think this kills it dead in the water.
There is a sliver of opportunity there. If you do it right.
Yeah, but... yeah. I don't know. I don't see it. It seems like it would be more of a series than a movie, though. You know what I mean? More of a TV series than a movie.
That would still be a continuation.
I would be more okay with the TV series because then you don't really need the Shamrock Collective to be the protagonist. They can kind of just be this looming threat.
The son, the mother, and the girl, Casey, are trying to stop.
See, if they do any sort of continuation, you're never seeing those actors again, in my mind. Maybe you see the kid, the kid from the first movie, Unbreakable. I can't remember what the actor's name is. Maybe you see him on it just because he's done television. He's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So,
oh yeah,
I could see him doing a TV show. I wouldn't want him to, though, because there were times in this movie where he was not a great actor at all, especially when he was in the comic book store. There was this one point where he actually said, "I'm leaving!" And it was just...
and stops in his tracks, turns around,
and then doesn't leave. Yeah, it was just... he sounded like a pouty child, and it was kind of ironic because he didn't sound like that in the first movie, and he was a pouty child in the first movie. So, another thing about this, a decision that I don't like, and again, spoilers, they all die. that your hero dies in a puddle. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with the hero dying in the puddle.
The glass shattered. They wiped it away.
I just
They're making a new one.
I think these characters deserved better. I think you did a really good job with Unbreakable, with Split, and even with the first 2 acts of this movie, developing these characters. And I just think that the characters in this movie deserved a better ending. I feel like they deserved a better ending. And honestly, I knew that they weren't going to do that big fight at the top of the tallest building or whatever. Because it wasn't in the trailer, and trailers have a way of ruining the movie for you. This trailer... Shayamalan said a few weeks ago that the trailer does not accurately advertise the movie. I disagree. I think the trailer does a remarkable job of showing you exactly what you're in for. But it also spoils the entire movie. Yeah. But I mean, it shows you first act, second act, third act. It doesn't show you what the twist is, and it doesn't show you what the ending is, but it shows you all of the set pieces. So that is something I was kind of disappointed with. I kind of wanted to see more. But when they said that they were going to the top of the building to fight, I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen when they said that. But if it had happened, I think that would have been a better ending than what we got. And that's not even my expectations. That's the expectations that the movie is setting. Because I didn't have those expectations going into the movie. I didn't have those expectations until the movie told me to have them. So I guess I just wanted a more grander ending, because that's what they were saying in the movie.
They almost got to the building, but Casey stopped the Beast.
And she's one of the best parts about this franchise, I think. Because I think, I wish, is it Anya Taylor-Joy, is that her name? I think that's her name. She's a good actress. She's good as this character. You could see there's growth between the last movie and this movie. She's stronger now. But, like, the whole experience has made her a better person. She's with a good family. She's with this foster family that has all these kids running around that look up to her, and she's reading comic books and stuff. I liked her arc in this movie. I like what she had to do in this movie. And that I like all the characters. I like David Dunn. I think this is the best Bruce Willis has been in a while. He actually has something to do in this movie. He's not in it much. When you think about it, he's really not in it much. He's in that room for a lot of it. And there's a big chunk of the movie where I almost forgot that Bruce Willis was in this movie.
So the first act really focused on David Dunn. Second act focused on Kevin, all the personalities, and then the third act focused on Glass.
And I'm glad you brought up the first act, because I love the first act of this movie. I think that 19 years removed from Unbreakable, this is exactly where I wanted David Dunn to be. He's with his kid. They're fighting crime together. Like, he's his quote-unquote guy in the chair, doing the laptop stuff and getting all the information for David Dunn, and then David Dunn goes and fights the crime. And I like how their front is a security, home security store. And Shyamalan's there. Dude, let your dad go for a walk. That was funny. And I like that they made Shyamalan the same character throughout, but that was kind of a throwaway thing.
Continuity.
Yeah. And I liked that Kevin, the Beast, and Patricia, the whole entire horde, they were up to the same thing. They were up to their same hijinks as they were in the last movie. Trying to kidnap girls, trying to eat them. Apparently there was another set that he kidnapped and ate in between now and then. And David Dunn's kind of made it his mission to find him.
Oh, so the Beast's mission, or Patricia,
The whole horde. The horde.
So their mission is to break the unbroken. And then they came to someone who's unbreakable.
Yes. And I like that, but David Dunn had a solid mission at the beginning of the movie. He's like, I'm going to take this guy down. And that's why he pretty much surrenders when, like, the cops, like, get him. Because he's done what he was trying to do. He was just trying to put away this bad guy that was killing these people. He gets to be, like, seen as the hero. But this lady comes along, Sarah Paulson's character, and says, no, you're wrong. You have a mental illness because you're trying to protect people? Like that?
Because, so she's claiming that they think they have powers when they actually do. And she's trying to convince them that they don't have. And
I understand powers. That in the case of Mr. Glass and in the case of the Beast and the Horde, because those two are actually insane. But with David Dunn,
Glass is just really smart.
David Dunn isn't the one that said he had superpowers. David Dunn, Mr. Glass put that on him. He never wanted to be a quote-unquote superhero. He was just, okay, I'm really strong. Okay, I have good intuition. That was Mr. Glass that put that on him. David Dunn didn't seem to care either way on where his abilities came from. And that's where I was kind of getting frustrated with Sarah Paulson's character. Whereas, why does it matter? Why does it matter what makes him strong? He is strong. He's trying to protect people. He knows when bad things are going to happen.
It's the Shamrock organization that wants superheroes to not exist.
And maybe
they're trying to maintain the balance that we've had throughout with no supers throughout the entirety of history.
And maybe this movie would benefit from a second watch where you know the ending, but that was kind of something I already saw coming. Like, I kind of had an idea that she was working for somebody trying to pull the strings. I lost my train of thought there. So yeah, David Dunn doesn't care where his strength comes from. He's just protecting people. That's just what he's doing. So why does it matter whether... And I guess you said why it matters. But it didn't matter to him, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know... He wasn't overtly saying, yes, I'm a superhero. Yes, worship me as a super... He was just kind of chill about the whole thing. He was just like, I'm not what you say I am. So, he's doing vigilante work, but I don't think if you asked him, honestly, are you a superhero? He'd say no.
I'm just protecting someone I love.
Yeah, exactly. Character development in this movie does a good job. Sam Jackson doesn't say a damn thing for the first 2 acts of the movie. Yet his presence is just so powerful there. And they do a good job at, like... He was faking it the whole time, obviously.
Mm-hmm. He's
just the twitching. I love the twitching and the drooling and everything about that. Just faking the catatonia. Catatonic. Faking the catatonic state. And they do a lot with the flashes, so you can see all of McAvoy's different personalities.
Yet we still haven't seen all of them.
Yeah, we still haven't seen all of them, no. That really kind of dragged that part of the movie for me. And that's where the movie... Again, they do a really good job with character development in that section of the movie.
They had a lot of characters to develop.
Yeah. And all of that, I think, is dependent on the ending, if you know what I mean. Dependent on how you feel about the ending. If you like the ending, then all that was pretty good.
Yeah.
If you didn't like... And I was thinking that sitting in the theater, like, okay, this is kind of dragging, but I still have hope for this movie. Because the first Unbreakable was slow, but it really kind of had an oomph at the end of it. Like, it gave you a good feeling at the end of it. For me, this movie was building and building and building and building, developing these characters, and I'm going to use the sandcastle analogy. They're making these 3 beautiful sandcastles in McAvoy, Bruce Willis, and Sam Jackson's characters. And then M. Night Shyamalan comes along and just kicks the castles over and says, come over here, look at this instead. And it's just sand. So,
well, sand does make glass. In some cases.
Oh boy. What do you think? What was your favorite part of this movie? There really aren't any standout moments. And even when I just asked you that question, I was thinking, okay, well, what was my favorite part of the movie? I liked the first act. The entire first act was great. The fights in this movie were really clunky for me. Like, it seemed like a lot of the time, Bruce Willis and McAvoy, they were just holding each other and yanking one way or the other. And
they were matched in strength.
Yeah, but, like, I look at a movie like Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel does a really good job at showing superpowered people and what it would look like if they fought each other.
Well, neither of these people could fly. They were still bound by physics.
Yes,
for the most
they're still
part.
bound by physics. You're right. It was clunky for me, and a lot of POV shots, a lot of holding the camera, a lot of
so that they didn't have to do wide shots.
Yeah, and I even noticed this in when they were just talking, and Sarah Paulson was talking to the 3 of them. It showed Sam Jackson's point of view.
Yeah, it was.
I liked that shot. Awesome. I really liked that shot.
Was cool.
But then during the fight sequence, it was like, okay, why are you still doing these POV shots? It's not really good. It just looks like Bruce Willis is dancing with a camera, which is exactly what was happening.
But you had McAvoy's arms in the shot.
Yeah.
And then when McAvoy was holding his Bruce, I don't know. Bruce
so
other way.
I think how people are going to feel about this movie is all dependent on whether they like the ending or not.
I see opportunity. You saw destruction.
I saw destruction, yeah. I saw... You gotta destroy something to build it back up. I just don't think there was time to destroy this yet. I think they had a lot of momentum after Split. I think this could have gone on longer. They could have built out a whole universe with these 3 characters at the forefront. And, like, M. Night Shyamalan just hits the self-destruct button. You know? And there's no getting the Infinity Stones and turning it back. They destroyed this universe. It's not like at the end of Infinity War where everybody dies and you know they're going to come back. None of these people are coming back, because that's just not the rules this universe has established. But I would honestly prefer it that if they did that. Like, if Bruce Willis just comes back as this Franken... he just doesn't say anything, he's just... And it's just this strong man. But... Jeez. But just really disappointed. And they leak out the video, and that's the problem that I really have about it. They did nothing. They accomplished nothing. You can have anything on YouTube look convincing. And the people that are convinced are still going to be convinced. The people that are not convinced are still going to be not convinced. You are having no effect on the greater world. And that's really what my problem was with it. If Sam Jackson had manipulated the situation into some sort of grand, like, fight on the top of the big tower, then the world would have seen 2 superpowered people in action on live camera. But instead, it's this clunky security footage.
He knew they weren't going to make it, so he paid attention to the fact that there were a ton of cameras around.
Yeah, and the cameras were intentional, and I did like that part. I just didn't like that was the end game. That, oh, the video is now online.
That was a backup in case they didn't make it.
And it screwed Sarah Paulson's character because it has her abusing her patients on video. But what my problem with it is, he's just leaking it onto the internet and letting it take on a life of its own. They can still squash that. It's not a resolution for me. And where you see opportunity, I just see a dead franchise. I don't think they'll make anything else with this. I think there may be talks of a TV series, but it'll be one of those TV series that never gets greenlit. Or that gets greenlit for one episode and then never, like one of those Amazon series. Like, remember the Zombieland series?
No,
exactly. It'll probably happen like that. Alright, so I'm gonna give this... I don't really like doing 5 out of 10.
I don't do ratings.
I'm gonna give it 5.9. Or, no, screw it. 6 out of 10, just for the sheer performances in the first act alone. They really left on a bunt, though. I would have enjoyed the movie a lot more had they delivered on the ending for me. But you really liked it.
Yeah.
Out of all the movies that you've seen recently, mid-pack, front of the pack, bottom of the pack?
I'm not good at rankings.
He's not good at rankings. That's okay.
But he was good.
But this was a good conversation. I like that you had a different opinion on it. I like that we were able to discuss it and share. This was fun. We should do this again. Now we got coming up soon on the docket, we've got a time-lapse video of our Mega Bloks Enterprise build. It's very heavy.
3 pounds.
And 3 pounds. That's way more than 3 pounds.
There's the things that is.
It feels heavier than 3 pounds. But we got the time-lapse video of that coming up, and I think we're going to be making some puzzles. So, that might be fun. So this was a Nickyflix spoiler discussion of M. Night Shyamalan's Glass. We'll see you next time.